All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the final video in this series, which is kind of crazy. But by now, you should have these three components wired together, maybe even your battery if you did that, which I now have a battery in this, and my Arduino is programmed. So now it will actually work when it's all assembled. Um, and I have a little box that I'm recycling, which is really cute. I'm actually really glad I found like a cute box and not just like random box. Um, it's the small things. So some type of rectangular prism that you will be using to form this sensor. I also have these big rubber bands, which I had in my house to kind of assemble this. And here's what we're gonna do. So essentially, we are going to mount these components onto the sensor and connect it so that it's like portable and usable and does what we want it to do, goes where we want it to go. Now, this guy got unplugged. As you will see, wiring is going to be kind of a major issue. I don't want to say issue because that sounds really bad. But wiring is going to be kind of a thing because you're going to be smashing this down with like a rubber band. You want to check to make sure everything's in place, and you want to make sure that your battery is unplugged and off so that when and if the wiring gets jostled, you aren't really, it's not consequential. And you may even want to unplug more stuff. Like I'm going to unplug the dust sensor for now, just so that it's easier for me. And you just replug it back in as instructed in the previous videos. So I'm just going to use this rubber band to fix these on here. And there we go. So how do I do this? Or I guess what are my tips for doing this? My tips for doing this are pretty much just don't have this on top of an LED or on top of a resistor because that is going to be annoying for you in more ways than one. Double and triple check all your wiring, and there you go. That's kind of what it looks like from that angle. And last time I worked really hard to not have any of the wires under this rubber band, and I would recommend you do the same just for, I don't know, general longevity of these materials. I think it's helpful to be kind of careful with them. So maybe even just kind of unplug stuff and replug it in as you go along. Fortunately, I have done this so many times that I can remember where I'm plugging stuff in pretty well. But if you need to go back and refer to the other videos, that's why they're there. This is going into 4. This is going into 3. And this is going into 5. My hands are really shaky right now. Maybe I had too much caffeine. Double check that's in ground. Cool. So now my wires are over the rubber band as opposed to under. Like I said, it'll still work if they're under. But just so you don't, like, have you ever bent your phone cord and it kind of breaks? That's just, we don't want that to happen here. So it might be just wise to not do that. And then another note, you don't want your rubber band covering up these pins because you want to be able to plug stuff in. So I'm going to just replug in my sensor while also double checking to make sure that I have everything in the right spots. Cool. There we go. Okay. Now that was pretty quick and easy, wasn't it? And that's also partially because I've done this like so many times. Okay, and then I'm just gonna slide this dust sensor down here under this rubber band just to minimize my usage of rubber bands. I honestly think you could do this entire sensor using one rubber band. I might use another one though. And if you want to tuck this under the rubber band, which I'm going to do, just because these are really long wires on this dust sensor here, and it's kind of just annoying. So you can do that as well. Okay, this is what we've got so far. Our three major components are now all on a portable recycled sensor. And last but not least, the battery. I'm gonna want it to go on this side as well. I probably could have mapped this out better. And I'm actually gonna move this sensor. I'm changing my mind. And I'm gonna put the battery on this side where the sensor was because that's just easier. The battery has shorter wires than the sensor, so it's gonna be that's gonna be my focus here. So 5-volt and ground. No, my battery is still off because I don't want it on right now. That's why. That's my amazing reasoning. Oh, I see what happened here. There we go. Yeah, the battery wires are a little janky. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you here. See, it just takes some patience. And yeah, if you don't get it, no worries, because like I said, I've built this so many times, and as you can see, I'm still kind of struggling with it. I actually recommend right now doing what I'm doing, try to plug in the sensor before you plug in the wires, or the pack, the battery pack. Now my battery pack's on the side. My wires are up top. See, that keeps coming out, and I'm not sure why. I wonder if there's a way I can just make this stay. Like in. Maybe if I bend it like that. Oh, that looks like it worked. So yeah, you kind of just have to get creative here. But you also want to be safe is our main, that's obviously our main objective. We want to be safe while also getting something that really works. And in the past, to fix these wires in, I have used electrical tape. And I might even try using a rubber band this time around. That might even be easier. But, oh my goodness. See, just as one of those things. So, there's that. Let's try that rubber band method, like I said. Wow, that actually worked really well, way better than I thought it was going to, if I'm being honest. Okay, I will show you more closely how I did that. Wow, I'm really proud. And you guys are probably like, it took you 2 minutes to do that. That was not that intense, and you need to chill. But you have no idea how many of these I've made and how long it took me to come up with this wiring solution. So I'm pretty stoked. Anyways, it's the small things. All right, so let's turn our battery on. Cool. Oh my gosh, it's working. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. This wiring works, which is really impressive because this is my first time doing the wiring. So I'm gonna turn this off and show you more. Okay, top we have our half-size bread box and our Arduino. Fun fact actually about this half-size bread box, on the back, darn, I don't have a bread box sitting around. You can peel off like a sticker, and this can actually, you can just stick this in place. You don't even need a rubber band. These are just, the rubber bands are more there for like these parts. So on the top, rubber band and half-size bread box. On the side, battery pack, switched to off. On the bottom, dust sensor and accompanying wires, which are plugged up through here. And there we go. This is my sensor. What is that weird wiring stuff I was talking about with the battery? Okay. Hopefully this is clear enough. I'm recording this on Zoom. So my apologies for the graininess. My phone battery, I was going to record this on my phone. My phone battery has been absolutely terrible. So it was just not working out. Wiring. I should really focus. I'm really getting off task now. So I have them plugged into the right spaces and I bent them. And then I put this rubber band right over the top, and now it's just holding them snugly in place. And I did not expect it to work that well. And honestly, it may not work that well for other people. Maybe it just was a fluke. But I'm really happy it worked. And we can turn it on. And now we can walk this around. Remember, this is the thing that's um, sensing the air. So you want to kind of have that toward whatever you're measuring and the lights toward you so you can read it. And there you go. How do you use this? Like I said, okay, this goes toward the what you're measuring, lights you want to read. And what are some things you can do with this? I'm actually going to turn this off. So I personally am a huge fan of candles. And I actually have several around me. Here's a little tea light. This one's almost used up. All sorts of candles I have around here. So you can light a candle and see what that does to your air quality. If you have someone cooking, maybe, especially in my house, we use cast iron skillets. And those things like put off so much particulate matter. It makes the air quality in my home so much worse. But if you measured maybe those types of activities like cooking different types of food, different types of cookware. I think I mentioned in my video, my previous video on, or I guess maybe this was like my host profile, I have so many plants. I'm like a big houseplant fanatic. So maybe measure the air where you have your plants, or different types of plants. If you have different types of plants, maybe take it outside and see if that's any different than it is inside. There's all these different types of things you can do with your sensor now, which is really cool. And I'm really excited to see how you like it and the different types of investigations you conduct and maybe even changes you make to the code. So hopefully you have fun with this air sensor that you built all by yourself. And before I go, I want to give some special thanks to people that made this project possible, not only for me, but for you all as well. So huge shout out to Mansell Nelson, who is my supervisor and a project director over at the Institute for Tribal Environmental Professionals. He was in charge of getting me all this equipment and, you know, helping fund this project. And for kits that were distributed, he helped fund all of that. So really, really special thanks to him. And special thanks to Jana Bulafentes, who works with the Nez Perce Tribe Air Quality Program. She's also been a huge help in this project, getting materials together, connecting with people who want to maybe do this project, and, you know, just kind of general thanks to them, and big thanks to EPA for making this activity accessible and free to use for everyone. All right. And thank you all. Before I go, I sound like PBS. Thanks to viewers like you. Just kidding. But seriously though, like I'm so stoked that anyone, if only one person views this video, got something out of this whole project and learned a little bit more about air quality and STEM. As you can tell, I love STEM. And so I'm really excited that this happened and that now this is usable for everyone and that you've stuck around and watched this. So thank you.